Happy start of the week, folks. This is Soul here to fill you in on the This Week in Warcraft. Hit that like button if you don't mind, and let's get started. We begin with the Burning Crusade Classic side of WoW, a reminder that free transfers are still open in case you feel a little bit uncomfortable with queue times. Over on the Americas realms, you can transfer off of Faralina to Incendius or Scarum. There are no character limitations here. Alliance characters can transfer from Mankrik to Westfall or Windseeker, and Horde characters can transfer from Whitemane to Anathema or Thunderfury. On the EU side, Horde characters can transfer from Ahennis to Stonespine or Ten Storms, and from Firemaw to Bloodfang. Alliance characters can move from Pyrewood Village to Netherguard Keep. As populations settle into BC Classic, or maybe the weak are culled, yeah, I'm talking about the people who can't handle doing Durnhold Keep or Black Morass, transfers will close, so if you're on the fence, think fast. Off to Shadowlands land, starting with a sizable nerf to the Mythic Sire Denathrius encounter. The second phase of his encounter now lasts from 70% to 37%, down from 40%. The phase is also dictated by time, so this also means phase 2 will last 225 seconds when it used to last 210 seconds. It kinda sounds like a lot of nonsense, but here's why it's significant. The third and final phase of his encounter it's brutal. It's incredibly demanding on the damage throughput, movement is very high, and tanks are just getting busted in the face. No doubt from Blizzard's point of view, and they're probably looking at cross-realm mythic pugs, a lot of teams are still having trouble with this last phase of the boss, even in this extremely long first season. They could have nerfed the boss's HP outright, but this would have had weird effects on the entire fight when this nerf is just meant to make the final phase easier. A 5% HP nerf across the board would probably mess with the timing of both phases 1 and 2, which might alter a progression team's strategy. A hotfix like this nerfs the boss's health in the final phase by roughly 1.2 million health, which will hopefully give teams the edge that they need. This week's world boss is Nurgash Muckformed, and a quick reminder, he's actually made up of smashing a bunch of these guys together. Yeah, imagine this guy if he was rendered in Unreal Engine 5. Death Knights, Demon Hunters, and Warlocks, it's your time, come on down. Be sure to open up your Adventure UI thingamajigger too and pick up the event quest to complete a bunch of world quests this week, including this one. It's hard to say no to some extra rep and animo, right? Of course you can say no, but also note that the Dark Moon Fair is also going on this week to give you some additional rep and XP bonuses and plenty of cosmetics to farm for too. Warsong Scramble is this week's PvP brawl, thank goodness. Get your high mobility classes in here and basically foot race your flags for quick wins, while the rabble fight in the middle and keep you covered. Over in Mythic Plus World, this week's affixes are Fortified, Spiteful, and Grievous. It's one of the not as great fortified combinations this time around, notably for players in melee range. Keeping away from spiteful mobs is usually a DPS loss, and with other damage going out, getting smacked by a spiteful is not going to make your healer like you anymore while they're preventing Grievous from wearing you down. At lower keys, this is still easy enough to handle, but at very high keys, if a prideful happens to also be out, there's a lot of room for mistakes. The new Valor cap is at 14,750, which is probably more Valor than we should ever see in a single season. And I want to keep reminding people that at the start of Season 2, we probably will get all our current Valor turned into gold or something, and the cap is going to drop down back to either 750 or something a little bit more generous to help us get started. I now have a new segment to include here called Pointless Tips, where I give what might be a useful tip, but really I'm just padding more time into the video. In the upcoming patch, there is going to be a Renown boost to help new characters and their alts to quickly progress through their Covenant. Until you reach Renown 40, Renowned rewards will have a greatly increased chance to appear from dungeons and raids. Covenant Callings will award double the Renown, and while leveling through the Threads of Fate, those quests that you return to Oribos after completing the Big Zone quest will award triple the Renown. So here's what you can consider doing now. You can level your alts to 60 through the Threads of Fate while completing the 4 zone-wide quests, just don't turn them in. Then after the patch drops, turn them in for a bunch of easy Renown. Useless? It might be, but it's something to keep in mind. It seems like patch 9.1 is now in its polishing phase, meaning just about everything is testable, but everything is also really janky. Expect the builds over the coming weeks to be less about big reveals and more of watching it all come together. But be sure to check back here for more coverage and all things Warcraft. So thanks for watching, have a great week, and we will see you Saturday for the recap. Until then folks, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.